Here we go with this sunlight again. Whew. What up, y'all? I be bull crapping. Man, this sunlight killing the game. What can I do to stop this thing? Whew. Man, so let's talk about the quantum leap. We're just gonna do a little overview on the quantum leap real quick, and I'm gonna intertwine a few things into it. You have your reality that you have right now, right? Correct? You pretty much have an idea how your reality is because you live it. You know your limitations, you know what you can and can't do. What if I were to tell you, and you probably already know this, that you could do 10 times as better 10 times better than what you're doing right now through making something called a quantum leap. Now this is not a, I don't know, I don't know what to call it because I've heard different viewpoints of this over the years. Let's just say this ain't no fairy tale. This is real because you've done it before. Quantum leaps are basically you're relying on outside sources that you're unaware of to jump you to the next level. That's what I get out of it. I'm relying on outside resources that I'm unaware of, meaning, of course, your faith and other things that the universal power to get where I want to be. So let's just say I'm on a course of being a low life, and I'm exercising an idea to be a millionaire. A lot of us want to make it, to be a millionaire anyway. A lot of us want that success, and if you don't want success, we'll say a quiet prayer for you. But these are two different realities. How do you get to the second reality, which is being successful, a millionaire, or whatever you try to do? I have a theory, and the theory goes like this: in order to make this quantum leap to this reality that you're creating in your head of success, there's special things you need to do. Now, I've said it on a couple of videos. I feel like you can't ignore the reality that you're in right now. It's going to be really hard to ignore the reality that you live in right now. So you have to use your imagination and do a lot of pretending. You might want to spend 2 or 3 days, I mean, not 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 hours per day visualizing yourself in this quantum, this successful lane that you're trying to make. You want to visualize it because your subconscious mind does not understand when you're imagining or when you're dealing with something in reality. So since it does not compute that, and it only computes the thoughts and the emotions that are attached to it, you want to have to a point where you're closing your eyes and you're using your imagination. The one that your teacher told you to stop using in school so they can educate you on what they want you to do. Use that imagination to imagine yourself living the lifestyle that you want. And you want to keep using the same picture that you have in your head. You want to get to a point where you're exercising that muscle because the imagination to come out, there's a muscle that needs to be used. And you want to keep using that muscle. And when you use a muscle over and over and over again, it produces and develops because that's all it is about development anyway. So you want to get to a point where you can, like this, go straight into the picture or into the movie that you're creating in your head of you being where you want to be. And you want to stay there enough to and add some emotions, some strong, positive, thankful, and gratitude emotions in your imagination. What you're doing is you're setting up the universe to get your manifestations to come faster. And you don't want to strain while you're making a quantum leap. Matter of fact, that's one of the things you don't want to do. You don't want to strain. You want to be totally relaxed. I had a friend a very long time ago that he was working on his voice. He was a singer. And he said when you want to hit high notes, you don't want to strain. You want to be totally relaxed and hit those high notes. If you're hitting high notes and you have to strain to hit them, you're really not hitting them. You truly hit a high note when you totally relax and hit one. I take that as far as saying if you're trying to get to your manifestations and you're visualizing them and you're stating them in the present, you want to get totally relaxed. And that goes when developing yourself. Any type of development you want to get going on. You want to get to, because at first it's a strain, especially when you exercising, 30 pound weights. It's a strain at first, but eventually you get to a point where you don't even realize it, that you get so totally relaxed that 30 pounds is nothing to you. Once you start getting totally relaxed, it's time to go to the next level. That point in the time realm where you got totally relaxed, the quantum leap happens. You go from 30 pounds to 45 or whatever. So the total being totally relaxed while doing your manifestations and having confidence that you're going to get there is all you need. So what I'm trying to tell you is all you need to do is want to be somewhere. You don't really per se you don't need to know how you're going to get there. How you're going to get there is irrelevant until you get there. So all you need is the want, because the want is the prerequisite of getting anything done. So being totally relaxed, using your imagination, and you keep this up until your manifestations happen. Do not exercise any ideas of worry and doubt. Matter of fact, if any worry and doubt comes out into your mind, reject it. We act like we can't reject our own thoughts. Them ain't even your thoughts. Remember that. Them ain't your thoughts. You're the creator here. Create what you want to come out of your head. If you got something self-sabotaging come out your head, reject it immediately and replace it with something else. That's what I do. That's why I said meditation. I said in my last video, meditation is very important. Reject anything that goes outside of your manifestations. Hey, you might want to be a loner. Get to a point where you're not even listening to music. Get to a point where you're not turning on the TV. Get to the point where you're not doing anything, being minimal, so you can hear the thoughts that come in your head. You want to hear every thought, and if it ain't right, if the thought ain't right, you want to reject it. Now, how do you know you're getting into a quantum leap? It's when you flooded your mind with all the right thoughts that you wanted for the quantum leap, and then all of a sudden you start feeling this uneasy feeling in your life. Now, trust me when I say that, because I've been through this with my weight loss when I made my quantum leap to get where I'm at now. You're gonna feel very uneasy. It's gonna be very, very uncomfortable. You might think that you're depressed or something, but you're not. What it is, your central nervous system is adjusting to how you're thinking, and it's like, dang, it's like, oh, what is it doing? It's making an adjustment, and when that adjustment completes, this is what happened when my adjustment completed. When my adjustment completed, I looked in the mirror in a couple of weeks, and I was skinny out of nowhere, and I was like, how did this happen? Well, it was the quantum. I took the quantum leap. It was the quantum leap. And you could use quantum leap with anything. Now, depending on as far as finances and being a millionaire and all that, that might take some time. or it might not take some time. It all depends on the paradigm that you have in your head about money. So then that's honestly with anything. If your manifestations are taking a very long time and you're doing the right things and you're putting the right moves in, you might have a really, really strong paradigm. And it's gonna be painful getting rid of some of those habits. Because like I said, our brain was meant to survive. It's in survival mode. It's telling you, hey, you've been like this for 10 years. I'm gonna help you stay like this. I'm gonna help you stay with these thoughts. I'm gonna help you do this. So I'm gonna build up a whole bunch of paradigms and have them stick in your subconscious mind so you can stay where you at. Because the way you are right now is helping you to survive, and stay alive. So your brain wants you to stay alive. But what your brain don't understand is, well, it ain't about your brain. It's a gift and a curse having paradigms or having your brain do this survival tactic. Now, we was out in the wild, or we was back in Africa or whatever the hell, paradigms will work perfectly. Yeah, don't go over there. If you go over there, there's lions, and you go over there and your heart start beating. Every time you go over there with the lions, your heart start beating because your brain is like, hey, there's lions over here. Get out of there. Or every time you look at this red plant, and the last time you ate this red plant, you got sick. So your brain like, oh no, don't do that. You got sick. So those paradigms work when we were in our primal stage as humans. But now we've been civilized over the years. And really, it's a gift and a curse of being civilized. There's a lot of stuff that we're missing in our life when we were primal that we need, like a man being an alpha male. That was a primal thing. We've gotten away from that because of society. A lot of the depression and anxiety and all that stuff started when we start civilizing and getting all this technology and all that. We're missing out on the essence of being a human being. Now here we are, and I'm just babbling at this point, but you got to understand this. Here we are as human beings, we, and our bare necessities it has an expense behind it. Not making it an excuse or nothing, but having a house is expensive according to your perspective, your perception of expense. But at the end of the day, bare necessities cost too much to live. But in our primal stage, a man knew how to make a house. A man knew how to hunt and go gather food. So you see what I'm talking about. I'm not the only one that understands that. But this quantum leap, jumping out of the situation you're in and jump into another situation. Once you make the quantum leap, and I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna go because I got to get going. Once you make this quantum leap, like once I became this skinny like I am right now, I look back and reflect, and then you start to realize one thing. You realize one thing. You could have gone there this whole time. Anything. If you trying to be a millionaire, once you become a millionaire, you're gonna realize you're gonna gain this super awareness that you could have gone here anytime you wanted to. What was holding you back? The paradigms. Your brain wanted you to stay the same. But if those paradigms wasn't in the way, if our brain didn't have this brain tactic, do you know how much we would be doing as human beings? Do you know that our thoughts are super duper powerful? I don't think you understand how powerful you are. You're so powerful that all of your thoughts are an illusions. They only feel real because you attached emotions to them. If you having financial issues right now, it's an illusion, buddy. You could turn around tomorrow and be a millionaire. And there's people out here that can be they've made a decision and became a millionaire in weeks. How did they do it? They used their mind. The same thing you got. Once you let go of your ego and you get spiritual, you'll realize we're all the same. Meaning that our spirit is made of the same essence from the universe. And your spirit wants to express and expand itself. So quantum leaps make sense because your spirit wants to expand anyway. So when your spirit gets in line with your thoughts and get in line with your movements, and you make a quantum leap into wherever you want to be, you could be homeless right now. If we took all those thoughts out of your head that are causing you to be homeless every day and put in a millionaire mindset into a homeless person, you best believe in a few hours they'll have their $1 million because they know exactly what to do. You take a millionaire right now, take all his money away from him. He's still got this up here. He'll go get the million back immediately. He knows exactly what to do. Even if you took his resources away, he's still resourceful. Being resourceful with no resources is something that you got to learn too. Study on quantum leaps. U Square is a really good book. I'm still reading on it, and eventually I'm gonna start taking chapters by chapters and doing a little 15-20 minute segment on there, so you guys can understand that. Go get that book too. That's a really good book. But I got to go. Peace.